So we are still in our review of the 7 awakening factors. And so this week we're back to Dhamma investigation. And really brings in this question of, are we interested? Are we interested in getting to know the nature of things? Can we slow down, be curious enough to learn about what we're noticing and experiencing as we practice? And of course, right, our conceptual minds that analyze and figure out, these are wonderful. This is wonderful. We're not getting rid of that with investigation, but we're also seeing that that is not the only way of knowing, and seeing how we can tend to lean on the thinking conceptual mind almost solely as our way of understanding and knowing. Whereas Dhamma invites us into an inquiry and exploration that is really here and now, fully embodied knowing, knowing something through the raw felt experience of it, through the sense doors, rather than just our ideas about it. So with the breath, right? It's not just my idea of the in-breath, out-breath, but this breath right here and this one. Can I be with that? How do I experience it? How is it making itself known to me? And similar, right, with emotions. We can think that we know what sadness is, or what happiness is, or shame. Oh, I know that. But when it kind of comes in and arises, can we notice how that shows up in our body, in our hearts, how it passes and shifts and then is gone, and some other feeling is there, kind of moving through? So Dhamma investigation really connects to the Buddha's invitation of Ehipassiko. Ehipassiko, come and see for yourself. I saw a translation of Ehipassiko that actually was encourage investigation. And the Buddha taught that Ehipassiko is an aspect of the Dhamma, of the teachings themselves. So, a couple of quotes about this. The Dhamma welcomes all beings to put it to the test and to experience it for themselves. It invites people to come and see. Another aspect of the Dhamma that sometimes we chant is, it is to be personally understood by each person, individually, right? Each person for oneself. So this is so important with this awakening factor, Ehipassiko. Come and see for yourself. Buddha's going to tell us, right? Like, this is kind of how I see how things are. This seems like the truth, seems like the nature of things, but check it out. See if it's true. And so we're not just taking the Buddha's words. We're not just believing these things like impermanence conceptually. And we're not just taking the mind's understanding of all of this, or that we already know what a cloud is, what a tree is, what a breath is. We're trying to get to know and explore those things on their own terms, as they are right now. Bill often says, as if it is worthy of being known. And as if we've never experienced any of these things before, because we actually haven't. And Thanissaro Bhikkhu described the awakening factor of investigation. He said, it is seeing things as they really are, seeing things in their proper perspective. Through keen investigation, one understands that all compounded things pass through the inconceivably rapid moments of arising, reaching a peak, and ceasing. just as a river in flood sweeps to a climax and fades away. The whole universe is constantly changing, not remaining the same for 2 consecutive moments. All things, in fact, are subjected to causes, conditions, and effects. And again, we know this conceptually, but with investigation, we have the opportunity to truly know and understand. And as we investigate, as we're on our cushions, kind of watching things come and go, we also begin to notice that there's a feeling tone quality to everything arising and passing, right? This idea of Vedana, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. And I just wanted to bring this in as an invitation as we practice this week. How might we get curious about pleasant phenomena? How do we investigate and stay with what is unpleasant? And how do we even bring some interest to what's neutral? Pleasant, when something arises and passes that may be pleasant, again, we might assume we already know it. If there's craving, sometimes we want something so much, and then when it's here, we don't even stay with it. We don't even kind of get to know the thing itself. And so, one invitation this week is, you know, what would it be like to receive a cool breeze or a warm shower, the experience of a warm shower, or the cup of coffee or tea that you look forward to every single morning? But actually be with it in a fully sensory way. Taste, sensation, smell, seeing, hearing, and the thoughts and feelings that arise with it, all with that orientation of Ehipassiko. With unpleasant phenomena, again, this is, I'm guessing, all of our experience. There's often so much aversion and resistance and pulling away that we don't really give ourselves a chance to receive the actual experience of the object or phenomena. We don't let it even make itself known to us. We're already kind of pushing it away or dissociating from it. I was thinking about a friend years ago who spoke about experiencing chronic physical pain. And she was a Dharma friend. And she was really open that she had a lot of aversion to it and wanted it to go away. And she shared about how she was practicing being open to it in moments, right? When she really felt like she could be. And she was so surprised and amazed to see that this thing that she was kind of conceptually understanding as pain was not monolithic. It was like changing, shifting, sometimes sharp and unpleasant. Sometimes there'd be kind of holes and lapses when it became something else. It would go away, it would come back. And kind of she began to have a different relationship with it, one of a little more curiosity. And another example, kind of mixed Vedana. And I've shared about this. I live on a very busy street, and there's lots of cars constantly going past. And I have a kind of automatic aversion and dislike to the sounds of cars. And I've used sound more and more as my anchor in meditation. And as I've been practicing with, like, can I just receive the sounds of the cars going past? I've realized that often they're actually quite pleasant. They're really similar to the waves on a beach. But my idea of them, my association with car and traffic and noise, would kind of make me not want to be connected with that. And this kind of recoiling and dissociation. And so even in moments, I can enjoy now this soothing aspect of the sound of the cars. And in that exploration, I've also realized it's kind of the trucks that are the most unpleasant. Um, and and even that is not necessarily the sounds. It's like they rumble and they shift as they shift gears as they go by. And that rumbling is a vibration. I feel it in my body. And that vibration actually is kind of similar to nausea. And so it's really been interesting to be like, oh, that's what's unpleasant. I'm hearing with my whole body, and my body vibrates when those trucks go by. But again, right, as I'm with the sounds, whether it's the cars or trucks, they're here and gone and here and gone, just like that quote, right? Can I be interested in that kind of constant being born, living, dying, born, living, dying, born, living, dying, right in front of my house, moment after moment, teaching me about impermanence, about life and death, about not in my control, and certainly teaching me about my own aversion, the power of my mind to believe an idea of a thing rather than connect with the thing itself, rather than build a relationship that's alive and curious and ehipassiko and neutral, right? We often focus on the breath in meditation because it's neutral, but we can notice we get really bored with neutral. We are not that interested. Or sounds of birds that we hear all the time. That might actually be very interesting if we get curious about them. So, this is our invitation, right? This week, and certainly in our whole practice. Can we come down from the buzz of our ideas about everything, all the ways we think we know, all the pulls and pushes are of our own likes and dislikes? And can we instead humbly, really humbly receive and inquire and have that childlike curiosity as if we've never heard the sound of a car going by before, never felt this breath before? Again, which is true. We actually haven't. But it requires patience and slowing down and openness so we can really bring in this invitation of Ehipassiko, know the teachings and the truth of things for ourselves, not letting impermanence be a concept, but something that's alive and felt right now. And hopefully, we can be grateful also that this practice gives us a path for knowing in this way. So, thank you so much. It's really lovely to be here. Mm. Let's just take a couple moments, as always, just to open up the body, to turn toward the bodies and just see what your body might need. Sometimes you might even need to stand up for a moment or to stretch. Arms might want to reach up or to the sides. Mm. Sometimes a gentle twist, even looking over the shoulder for a moment. Just can allow ourselves to reconnect to the body, reconnect to the breath, have a sense of being and sitting here in our space. And as you begin to feel for a posture that's supportive, you can be a little bit relaxed. You can just see where the hands might want to rest, maybe in the lap or on the legs. I mean, if you're needing a little bit more kind of grounding, settling, You might have them face down. If you're wanting more openness, you can have them face up. And just feel for the base wherever you're sitting, just having that feel supportive and solid beneath you. And sometimes it can be helpful to kind of rock a little bit side to side or move the torso in really small circles so that we can actually feel for balance. Perhaps we can begin to notice, oh, that slowing down, the attention moving a bit more inward, beginning to notice the breath, connecting and receiving the movement of the in breath and out breath. And even with investigation, right, the attention can be soft, can be open and light. We can receive the sensations of the breath or receive the coming and going of sounds. Letting phenomena come to us, make itself known to us on its own terms. Maybe in moments we can notice also the mind that so quickly labels, thinks it knows. It's no problem. We can keep inviting a slowing down, engagement of the whole body, all sense doors. Curiosity and interest toward whatever is here. And if we realize that we've gotten lost in thought, no problem. Mindfulness brings us back, helps us remember to be here, gives us the opportunity to reconnect, receive, and to be curious again, to relate with interest to whatever's here. Thank you for your practice and for being here. Let me just let everyone unmute. We can say our goodbyes and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Take care.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Catherine.
thank you,
Thank you,
Catherine.
everyone.
Have a
Thank you,
nice
Catherine.
day.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, Ellen.
Thank you all.
Everyone, take care.
Everyone, be well.
Oh, my lovely Sangha.
Oh,
Love it. Have a wonderful week, wonderful day. Bye all.